Hi everybody. In the video that we're going to do today, I'm going to show you how to check the viscosity of a liquid using the IDDS syringe test and the standards associated with that test. So first of all, let's just take a quick look. Everybody should have this. So we're talking about drinks, and the numbers that are associated with it I'll refer to as we go through this process. So that's what we're referring to with the drinks. So I'm going to take you through the different steps. The first step, step 1, is to use the right syringe. So the syringe that I'm using is a 10 milliliter syringe, and it's kind of hard to see because of the safety tip on there, but it does have the correct tip. It just has the lock in place so that if you were actually using a needle, it's a bit more sturdy and stable. So we have our 10 milliliter syringe, and then the second step is going to be to test the flow. So I have two products here that have been thickened with this commercial Thicket product. It's a starch, it's unflavored, and it also has a little bit of maltodextrin in it. So I have 2 cups of coffee here. One is slightly thin. One is pretty thick. So we're going to check the measurements on these. So first thing we do is going to be to draw 10 milliliters exactly. Let me see if I can do it. Into this syringe. Oop, start over. I can hear that air going in there. I'm a little bit over, so 10 mil exactly. So I've taken the plunger out of one of my syringes, and I'm going to take the 10 mils and I'm going to place my finger over the bottom of the syringe, dispense the 10 mil in completely. And now I'm going to use my watch, and I'm going to remove my finger and try to press start at the same time. Going to see how long it takes for 10 seconds. Using 10 seconds as our guide, we're going to see how much of this liquid goes through the syringe, and then we'll compare it to our sheet. So, okay, here we go. Hopefully, there you can see my watch had a little glare on it. Okay, here we go. "10 seconds, I'm going to cover that back up. And the amount that we have remaining, it's hard for you all to see it, but it's just 1 mil. 1 mil exactly is remaining. I'm going to go ahead and take my finger off that. So now what we would do, we would go back to our chart, and we see that we have exactly 1 mil remaining. So if we turn back to the first page, we can see that if it's 1 mil, it's called a slightly thick liquid. If there was nothing that remained in the syringe, it would be a thin liquid. So this is considered a slightly thick liquid by IDDSI standards. Okay, let's do this again. Let's test our thick coffee. So I'm going to put my plunger in this and make sure that I have absolutely all the first sample out. Okay, and now I'm going to get, actually I'm going to start my watch over. We'll discard this one. Discard, yes. Okay, now we're ready for the next one. Okay, this is a much thicker sample. I have an air bubble in there, so let's try this again. There we go. Okay, so let's take our 10 ml syringe. I'm going to put my pinky over the bottom of it and dispense the 10 ml into it. Okay. Okay, 10 ml. We have a timer that's reset. And 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm watching my clock. When it hits to 10, I'm going to cover it up with my finger. 10. Okay. So at 10 seconds, we had reached the graduation just under 6 ml, it looks like to me. So I'm going to say that's right at 6 ml. And now I'm going to put that back down in there. Let's get our sheet again. And let's do some comparison. So quite a bit thicker. So in comparing, if I have anywhere between 4 and 8 ml, that's a number 2 standard. So let's turn back to what number 2 means. And you can see number 2 is a mildly thick liquid, nectar-like. So this would be considered a nectar-like thickness. Okay. So that is the proper way to perform the viscosity test for the IDDSI diet in regard to liquids.